How old is this song? Okay. This reminds me of like in Harry Potter when they fall in the thing and there's like all those things trying to hold Ron down. Do you know what I'm talking about? Isn't that the first one? Chamber of Secrets? Second one. That's adorable. I'm sorry. I know it's not supposed to be. I like the like the sound in the back. Like chime. Oh, I see. Weren't there weird, like, skeletal humans in the last Tool song I did? Okay, that's interesting. So it's kind of like reading really horrible news headlines. He's like reciting them. Killed by the husband, drowned by the ocean, shot by his own son. She used poison in his tea, then kissed him goodbye. That's my kind of story. Like enjoying pain. Okay. Okay. Enjoying the pain of others. It's really interesting. It's interesting that he's like a skeleton. I wonder if it's sending the message that like when we're stripped down, we all have this part in us that takes joy in the suffering of others. Whether that be like on a grand scale, like this is talking about, like when someone dies, or whether that be like seeing someone do something embarrassing and showing it to a friend, using that as your entertainment. It's interesting. Okay. that's interesting. This idea that like, why can't we just admit it? Why can't we just admit it that all of us in some way get joy from watching someone else's pain, from vicariously experiencing it through the watching of it. And instead of it hurting us, it brings us joy. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, okay, stay with me. If the cycle is that we're watching, so vicariously observing, we're watching someone else have a horrible experience and it brings joy in us or something. It ignites some positive emotion like, excitement, intrigue, gratitude that it's not happening to us, whatever it is. The opposite is also true. When we watch on social media these days, something good happen to someone else, it often feels like a part of us dies. Our dream, our hope for ourselves, our self-esteem, our belief in our future. Like it goes both ways. When we watch good, it often causes us to kill a piece of ourselves. And when we watch bad happen to someone else, it often fuels us and brings up like a hostility in us, where we turn that hostility outward of like, oh, you deserve that, or oh, I'm glad it's not happening to me, or oh, LOL, look at this, or inward, oh, I'll never have that, I'm not good enough, they're so much better than me. We're still taking the hostility that this song is talking about and turning it in a direction. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense? Those music videos are in their own, a league of their own. Interesting. That's really interesting. That part vampire, part warrior, carnivore, and voyeur. There's something really interesting about the idea of feeding off of hostility, of gaining something from hostility. That I think that is what's present in this song, like the pain of others, the violence against others, the violence against ourselves feeds something. It's like directing our hostility in a really negative direction. When we observe pain, we are consuming it. And it feels like when we are consuming it, often it's this part of us that gets fed that is like mean. And this part that we maybe are ashamed of, right? That's like, oh, I like watching that other person be in pain, which is the same part that when we see something good happen to someone else says, oh, you don't deserve that. When we see pain and we consume it like a vampire, it often brings up this hostility towards ourselves and towards others. It increases it, it feeds it. But I don't believe that our observation of pain has to do that, or that the hostility that it brings up has to be used to either kill others or ourselves. Kill ourselves. Tool's deep, y'all. It's deep. Because when we feed our hostility, our pain in us, it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And it hardens us. Much better than you and I is interesting. Wow. That last line is really interesting. Much better you than I. It's the way in which we see tragedy that we often use it to separate ourselves from others. When we see something bad happen to others, we separate ourselves from it by being like, you deserve that, I don't, or I'm so grateful that that didn't happen to me. When we see something good happen to others, we often are like, oh, I could never be them. This could never happen to me. I'm not good enough. We use tragedy to separate. We feed off of it and allow it to push us away from others instead of feeding off of it and using it to fight for something different. So if we think about this song as a song about hostility towards others, and, you know, in our day and age today, often hostility towards ourselves when we see others succeed. In that way, hostility is pointed in a direction to kill, to disconnect, to separate from. But maybe it's not hostility that's the problem. Maybe it's the way that it is directed. Can we direct our hostility towards appropriate things? Like diminishing and fighting against evil. Like even fighting against the voice inside of us that says their success means our defeat. Can we use the pain that we consume to direct our hostility to destroy more pain instead of find joy in pain? Does that make sense? You can use the part of you that's a vampire, right? You can use the part of you that enjoys the consumption of pain, that creates hostility. You just have to take the hostility and move it in a different direction to destroy something that actually deserves to be destroyed, right? Which is pain, which is evil, which is hate, which is disconnection. It's about the direction of your destruction. It's about the direction of your hostility. So when you listen to this song, I want you to, it's okay. We all feed on tragedy. It's like blood to a vampire. That last line. When you are observing, when you are living vicariously, when you are feeding off of the pain of others, it's something that we all consume all of the time in the world that we live in. We also consume things on social media where we see good in others that makes us feel bad about ourselves. So when pain comes to us, when we observe something that is the pain of others or ignites pain in us, we can feed off of it and it will ignite hostility. But then when we have that hostility, how are we going to direct it? Maybe we can direct it as passion towards destruction of pain instead of hostility toward ourselves and others, right? So when you listen to the song, you can think about the direction of your hostility and how you can use it. If you're going to feed off of it anyway, if it's something that you're going to observe and consume anyway, you might as well use it for good. If you are someone who feels like you really take enjoyment out of pain that others experience, and you want to be a better support, check out my 5 best songs to be a good support at the link in bio. Check it out. Use it to help you. I promise I will. I love y'all. Have a good day.